Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Rain team once again, and today we're also fighting another rain team, which caught me by surprise when I saw his team. I thought, wow, that's a coincidence. It's going to be an interesting fight. So I started with led with Seismitoad because I knew he was going to start. Well, she was going to start with Pelipper. So I thought, right, I'll start off with Seismitoad. That way I'll be able to get Stealth Rock set up early game, which will give me an edge, pun not intended, throughout the match, because obviously he'll be switching into my Stealth Rocks. And yeah, I called that right. He started off with Pelipper, so I just went and set up Stealth Rocks. He used Hurricane. I don't know what to do now. I suppose. Let's go off the avatar. She used Hurricane. That didn't do too much, but I didn't fancy staying in because obviously I had nothing else that I could do against it. So switch out to Rotom, which would then force him to switch. But I believe, yeah, he also switched out and sent in his Ludicolo, which originally this team did have Ludicolo on it, but I found that in today's metagame, Ludicolo didn't really pose much as a threat as earlier gens. And you've probably just noticed that so far each of the Pokemon he sent out is shiny. So yeah, spoiler alert, the rest of his team is also shiny. I went to Dracovish just to see how much Hydro Pump would do, and it did a surprising amount, to be honest. I didn't expect it to do that much. I was hoping for it to do less than a quarter. What with the quadruple resist, but no, I got that wrong. So I didn't fancy staying in on that and just said, okay, let's just go to Ferro, which was my original thought was to switch in Ferrothorn anyway, but I just wanted to see how much damage Draco would take. He then went for Giga Drain. That did nothing, obviously. So I knew I could take everything he threw at me, obviously, because I used Ludicolo before. And I know that Ludi can't really touch Ferrothorn unless you're running Focus Blast. I think it learns Focus Blast. But even then, that's still not going to do much. So, yeah, I used Knockoff. And now I'm just deciding whether I stay in. Do I go for another knockoff expecting a switch, or do I just simply Power Whip for the KO? So in the end I just thought, yes, you know what, sod it, I'm just going to go for the Power Whip, get rid of it. That's way it's one less threat. And yeah, he does stay in, goes for another Ice Beam. Obviously it does nothing. Ferrothorn's such a big fat wall, nothing's going to really get through his defences. And yeah, take down Ludi. So far so good, got rid of that threat. Obviously, Ludicolo against my team is, if I haven't got a wall, like if I haven't got Ferrothorn, it's a issue. I mean, Pelipper could take it, could wall it slightly, but I don't really have anything else to use against it. So he sends in Barraskewda. I know for sure he's going to go for close combat. So I'm not going to stay in with Ferrothorn, not at that much HP, because it would have left me with very little. I know I'm pretty confident I could take it, but there's no point, like for no reason really, not when I need it later on. So yeah, switch out to Pelipper. That does nothing, and then I decided to knock off because I was pretty sure that even if he did stay in, he's got nothing really, and if he switches out, then I get to knock off the item. So yeah, he switches in, she switches in, it doesn't matter, I'm just going to say he switches in Dragapult, I knock off its Expert Belt. So at this point I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to go for the Thunderbolt, because I know that most Dragapults that run Expert Belt are special, and they've got like Dragon Pulse or Draco Meteor, Thunderbolt, and Shadow Ball. So yeah, goes for the Thunderbolt, that does nothing, and then this turn I get extremely lucky. There are like two key moments in this match which went in my favour, and I'm very grateful for. So yeah, that Fire Blast missed, and thank God it missed, because I'm not sure if it would have changed the shape of the match, but it did influence. Well, actually, that might have been game changing, that miss. It could possibly have been like the whole game right there. So yeah, after seeing the Fire Blast, like when I saw that come up on screen, Dragapult used Fire Blast, my heart just dropped. I was like, oh Jesus. But yeah, so I switch out to Rotom, take the Fire Blast. It's absolutely nothing. And after Leech Seed heal, then yeah, I'm always back to full health. So I switch out now. Switch back to Ferrothorn, expecting the Draco Meteor or the Dragon attack, and he does. He goes for Draco Meteor. So yeah, I was trying to bait him out there, because I knew if he did go for Draco Meteor, then he'd have lower special attack. I'm not going to stay in against the Fire Blast because it would still probably kill me, but I can now safely switch in Pelipper, which is what I do. So yeah, obviously withdraws Dragapult. There's nothing much he can do now. Sends in a shiny Phalanx, and I go to Pelipper, set up Brain. So second key moment in the match, but I'm not sure if it's that big a deal as the Fire Blast missed, but it could be. So he goes for No Retreat, which boosts all of his stats. I don't know if it's a +1 or a +2. Either way, I go for Scald, and I get lucky, and I get the Scald Burn, which, I mean, it's not low. I mean, it's 30%. That's pretty high. So, well, yeah. I mean, it's still lucky either way. He goes for Zen Headbutt. Obviously, after the burn, that's going to do nothing. It's non-stab. It's just useless. And then I finish him off with the Scald. So yeah, definitely grateful for that burn there. Although I don't think it's that big a deal as the Fire Blast, because I could have switched in, if he killed me, and I could have switched in Dracovish, Barraskewda, which definitely, even with the +1 or +2, would be able to take it down. I'm confident that. So yeah, he's entering Dragapult. I go to Seismitoad because it's my best option, because if he goes for the Thunderbolt, it resists, and if he goes for Fire Blast, then it does nothing. And yeah, he went for the Fire Blast, so it's all good. I go for the Earthquake, just to finish him off. He outspeeds me and uses Draco Meteor, so, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, Dragapult's really fast, but I was still surprised that it outsped Seismitoad, even though it has no speed investment, so I shouldn't be that surprised, really. But either way, I was hoping to outspeed it, but never mind. Didn't make any difference in the long run. So he's got Snorlax and Pelipper left. Snorlax, Pelipper, and Barraskewda. Yeah, he sends out Snorlax. And in the back of my mind, I was thinking, is it a Curselax? Because, you know, back in the day, Gen 4, Curselax was quite popular. So either way, I thought, well, if it's a Curselax, it's not going to do anything to Ferrothorn. Like, it just can't touch Ferrothorn. You'd need +4 or 5 to be able to touch Ferrothorn. And yeah, he does go for Curse. So my best bet now is basically just Toxic and then Leech Seed. So unless he's running Rest, Sleep Talk, then he's going to have a hard time getting through my team now. And yeah, he continues using the Curse, and I just I think I use, yeah, set up Leech Seed next turn whilst he does his thing. Really not worried at all, because Snorlax, his stab move isn't going to do that much damage, and Earthquake, if he's running Earthquake, isn't going to do much either. So I was confident that he wasn't going to tear up my team. Yeah, so Rain finishes, getting the Leech Seed health back to full health. And the poison damage is racking up. I go for knockoff here just to see if he's running a berry or something, or a Lumberry, I don't know. Because if he's running a Lumberry, then that would confirm he's running, well, at least rest. So yeah, he's running a Figgy Berry, which I don't actually know what Figgy Berry does. I should check that. But well, it doesn't make any difference anyway because his Earthquake did nothing. And I think after the toxic damage, he faints this turn. Yes, he does. So, yeah, only 2 options left now. Pelipper and Barraskewda. So at this point of the game, I was feeling a bit cheeky, and I thought, right, I'm gonna go for the 6-0. I want to get my first 6-0 of this gen I recorded. So I decided to switch out some Rotom because I was expecting the Hurricane here, and yeah, he does exactly that. Goes for Hurricane, which does nothing. So I'm pretty sure now, yeah, there's nothing he can do. So I'm just going to go for a Thunder. If he switches in Barraskewda, he's dead. So the only option he has is to stay in and hope for a miracle, which isn't going to come. So yeah, go for the Thunder, take down the Pelipper. Last mon is Barraskewda. So interesting to note that this is an online match, so it doesn't have to follow Smogon rules. This was after the Dynamaxing ban was put in place. But yeah, as you can see, no Dynamaxes so far on his part, which made me suspect that at least they had some knowledge of the Pokemon, the current Pokemon metagame, because well, they're all shinies and they were all competitive movesets. So I was confident that they knew what they were doing, and I had a feeling that they wouldn't go for a Dynamax. So yeah, sends in Barraskewda, and I go to Wet Willy. Okay, I thought I switched in Ferrothorn. Well, either way, I go to Pelipper to take the liquidation. Doesn't kill me. I don't know why I switched. I switched in Pelipper just in case he went for the close combat, but he didn't. He went for the stab boosted move, so that's fine. Then I switch in Ferrothorn. Goes for liquidation again. That's obviously not going to do anything. Well, actually, that did quite a lot. That did a lot. So here, in this case, had he have not Dynamaxed, because he Dynamaxes here and goes for the Max Knuckle. Max Knuckle is obviously, its attack's lower than close combat. So I reckon had he have not Dynamaxed, he would have KO'd me with the close combat. But for some reason, I guess it was just kind of just out of desperation. He Dynamax went for the Max Knuckle, but it's got lower base attack than close combat, so it's not gonna kill me. I go for the Power Whip, Revenge Kill, and get the win. First 6-0 win of this gen, and it was against another rain team. So yeah, that's pretty good. And I'll see you all next week.